and she goes to a nice, soft, cushy prison. This is disgusting.
Yep.
It's disgusting. It is. So just on the COVID thing, this was when the COVID vaccine was launched in the UK. That was one of the proudest days of my life. The efficiency and the way that was done, and the fact that it was ending a terrible era. At that time, I was tweeting quite regularly a mathematical formula which was showing the number of deaths in America that were unnecessary, and it was based on a very simple premise that America, as the most richest country in the world, should at least be normed with the rest of the world. So I was posting this number regularly on Twitter. The end result was that 80% of the deaths were unnecessary. 80%. In other words, if the number of deaths had been reduced by 80%, America would have just been level with the rest of the world in terms of deaths per day.
Paul, do you remember your highest number?
When
you were counting the numbers, do you remember your highest number of deaths that you were comparing?
I can't remember. It always hovered around the 80%. It's a very simple bit of maths. I'm a mathematician.
No, not the percentage, the actual.
I think there were like 4,000 in America at one point that were dying every day. It was extremely high.
But
yeah.
In other words, when he hit the 500,000 point, 400,000 of those people would have been alive if Hillary had won. So to all those magaloons out there with an empty, sadly, an empty space at your Thanksgiving table, there's an 80% chance that person would still be here today if it wasn't for that bloody idiot.
It's interesting what you just said, and I don't necessarily disagree with you that if Hillary Clinton did win in 2016, I absolutely believe that not only would she have handled it better, she would have used that actual Barack Obama plan on how to deal with a pandemic that Donald Trump didn't use. And I agree with you. I think a lot of people, listen, I'm not a huge Hillary Clinton fan, but I agree with what you're saying. I think she would have showed real leadership, and a lot of people's lives would have been saved. She certainly wouldn't have been holding campaign rallies in the heart of COVID, which is beyond despicable and irresponsible. She certainly wouldn't have used COVID press conferences as campaign rallies, as Donald Trump did. She certainly wouldn't have been talking about injecting yourself with disinfectant, and she wouldn't have lied. Yeah, she wouldn't have lied to the American people. So Paul, the proof is in the pudding. She wouldn't have done any of those things. I agree with you. Many lives would have been saved.
Yeah, but do you realize how dangerous those super spreader events are? At an exponential rate, or how contagious that disease is. Mm-hmm. So him holding those rallies with people packed together and spitting on each other when they scream and shout, and refusing to wear masks because it's not macho enough. Do you realize how many people died because of that?
No doubt.
It's just phenomenal.
I agree.
It's just horrific.
Paul,
he's a mass murderer.
Well,
he's a mass murderer.
When it comes to his handling of COVID, I completely agree with you. And certainly he doesn't value human life, because if he did, he wouldn't be caring more about his own name in the Epstein files and trying to strike a deal with Maxwell. He would actually care about the real victims. But the reason why he doesn't care is because I think he did some things to some of those victims. He's in the Epstein files.
And there's proof.
Every day the cover up continues. It becomes more and more probable that he's a paedophile in my mind. Yeah. Every day that goes by where the cover up, and the thing that disgusts me, that he has not once reached out to the victims.
Not once.
He gives Ghislaine a pass and she goes to a nice, soft, cushy prison. This is disgusting. Yep. It's disgusting. It is.
Amen, Paul. I'm with you, my friend. But MAGA Republicans want to talk about transgenders and banning books. And thank God that athlete isn't in that volleyball tournament, the transgender. That's more important than the victims.
Yeah, forget about the 13-year-old girls and the 14-year-old girls that were brought into, according to the depositions, into hotel rooms and forced to do things that by their own admission they did not want to do.